I'm always delighted to be with Saul News. This has been such a leader in the conservative movement and the Republican Party.
Welcome to the Saul's Newsstand News Rewind for July 7th, 2023. ABC News reports, injunction blocks Biden administration from working with social media firms about protected speech. A judge on Tuesday prohibited several federal agencies and officials of the Biden administration from working with social media companies about protected speech, a decision called a blow to censorship by one of the Republican officials whose lawsuit prompted the ruling. A U.S. district judge in Louisiana granted the injunction in response to a 2022 lawsuit brought by attorneys general in Louisiana and Missouri. Their lawsuit alleged that the federal government overstepped in its efforts to convince social media companies to address postings that could result in vaccine hesitancy during the COVID-19 pandemic or affect elections. Republican Senator Eric Schmitt, who was the Missouri Attorney General when the lawsuit was filed, said on Twitter that the ruling was, quote, a huge win for the First Amendment and a blow to censorship. An article from Politico states, the new power couple taking on Wall Street, J.D. Vance and Elizabeth Warren. Following a Senate campaign in which he pledged to prioritize rural America over titans of industry, the Ohio lawmaker is using a seat on the banking committee to flex his populist muscle, teaming up with Democrats including Senators Elizabeth Warren of Massachusetts and Dick Durbin of Illinois on bills that the industry's biggest players despise while championing legislation that protects smaller banks. Vance's criticism of how Silicon Valley Bank was mismanaged drew the attention of Senator Elizabeth Warren, who approached him to help her build support on the banking committee, where they both serve, for her executive compensation legislation. Warren, who enlisted Vance to build GOP support for a bill to claw back compensation from executives of failed banks, said he's been, quote, terrific to work with. Last month, Vance signed on to a bill from Democrat Senator Richard Durbin that would try to lower credit card swipe fees, a policy that would hit banks that issue cards. And finally, NBC News reports, lab tests confirm white substance found at White House is cocaine. A formal lab test of the white substance found at the White House on Sunday has come back positive for cocaine, a Secret Service spokesman said on Wednesday. The substance was found Sunday evening in a small zippered bag in a highly trafficked part of the West Wing and prompted a brief evacuation. It is unclear how long the bag was at the White House. The blurry timeline and the number of people who walked through the area where the cocaine was found could make it difficult to determine who was responsible, an official familiar with the investigation said. Senator Tom Cotton sent a letter asking the Secret Service director to release information about where the cocaine was found. He also asked half a dozen questions about access to the White House, other instances of illegal drugs being found in the complex, and security procedures, requesting a response by July 14th. And that concludes your Saul's Newsstand News Rewind for July 7th, 2023. For more political news faster, visit saulsnews.com.